Hey folks, this is your state representative El-Mahdi here, and I received my absentee ballot in the mail. And for those of you who have also made the request, this is how it will look. If you intend to go vote in person, you can go to the Secretary of State's website and you can download a copy that will look just like this. Well, of course, this is a general and special election ballot. It's very important. Well, I've received a lot of calls and messages from constituents who are very familiar with the candidates and the places to vote, but also are wondering about these constitutional amendments that we see at the very end of the ballot. Well, on this ballot, we have two proposed constitutional amendments. We have one statewide referendum, and we have a Redevelopment Powers referendum that affects us here in Henry County. I'm going to talk through them very quickly because I know you don't have a whole lot of time, and this is very important information. We find the first constitutional amendment. What it does is it allows for you to be able to specify whether you want that fee or that tax to be used for the very purpose for why it was created. Currently in state government, what we have is when that tax and that fee is levied, sometimes it can go to the general fund. And so this will allow for you to make a decision as to whether or not you want it to be used for its intended purpose. Secondly, and I recognize this one here, House Resolution 1023, Representative Andy Welch. This was his bill. And what this allows for is the waiving of sovereign immunity. Well, sovereign immunity, as some of you might know, it is what prevents governments from being sued. Well, this will allow for local residents to be able to petition their superior court judge to come in and look to see whether or not a government entity acted lawfully or whether that government entity did not act lawfully. It's a very simple decision for that judge to make, and you get to decide whether or not he is able to do that. Next we have a tax exemption for certain real property. Well, for charities like Habitat for Humanity that provide quality, affordable housing for families who need it, if that property is being used for that purpose, well, then the ad valorem tax, the tax on there that signifies the value of that property, it will be exempt if they use it for those intended purposes. And very lastly, the Redevelopment Powers referendum. Well, as you know, local control and home rule is an honored doctrine here in Georgia. This allows for the county and the cities within that county to be able to create districts where they can levy a tax of their choice to be able to fund for projects in that area. What this does is this gives the county and those cities the authority to do so. So what that means is that the county doesn't have to wait for the federal government to put the money behind it if they see there's a needed improvement. They don't have to wait for the state government to provide that. Instead, the local businesses in the area can be able to provide a tax so that they can see that property improvement. And so it's very necessary. Look, please take the time to look through this ballot and make sure you vote, because this is your opportunity to exercise your rights so that we can have a free and fair democracy. Take care.